Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well and enjoying this beautiful sunny day. So today we'll be shining some light on eating disorder. Okay. So if you're new here, I'm Ange or Anjali, if you like to call me. I'm women's health movement coach and nutrition counselor. Today we have amazing to accept her, and please help me to welcome Leone. Hopefully she'll be on soon. So here she is. Hi Leone, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You made it.
I did. Not having done a live before, so we're good. We got there.
Yes. Maybe if you want to tilt your phone a little bit down to your face because we can't. Yeah. Okay. That's better. That's better. Yeah. So now we can see your full face. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. So before we start, I wanted to read beautiful bio of Leone. So Harvesting Health is a holistic practice established on the sunny Gold Coast of Queensland in 2017. Owner Leone Wilson has a broad skill set. You're dropping the phone.
I took it out. It's all right.
Skill set, having studied to become a naturopath with further nutrition education and a counseling degree. This enables Harvesting Health the unique opportunity to provide the whole box and dice of holistic healthcare at every consultation. That's amazing. And Leone is accredited in the provision of naturopathy, nutrition, counseling, neuro-linguistic programming, Reiki, massage, and EFT tapping. Having all these skills in her professional toolkit allows Leone and Harvesting Health to provide you with the epitome of comprehensive healthcare. We even have herbal dispensary on site so you can take your prescribed remedies home with you straight right away. That is incredible that you have created this, and the herbal dispensary on the site.
Yeah, I think that's really pivotal because people they like to watch me make up the herbals and then they can walk away with their product. Whereas sometimes some naturopaths might have them order it through a different company and you don't get the same experience as watching the medicine.
Yes, incredible. Yes, thank you for being here. Welcome everyone. Today we have Leone here from Harvesting Health Hub. So before we start, Leone, I just wanted to say that this chat about we're just trying to shine some light on the eating disorder. So it is all about to bring awareness and educational purposes, not a specific diagnostic for you.
No.
If you are struggling from it, please seek out for professional help, or you can stay till the end of our conversation to participate in Q&A session so you can ask questions to Leone at the end. Okay, so should we dive into the question, or would you like to say anything else, Leone?
No, I'm happy to dive into the questions. I just wanted to point out that eating disorders is quite different to disordered eating. And that disordered eating sits in a place between normal eating before you get into an eating disorder. And I see disordered eating in 90% of my clients. So that was just something to note.
So it's just a little bit of something to think about, right?
Yeah.
Lots of your work, the content in your Instagram is like, it always makes me sit down and think about it. When you say it. So I'm like, what is she saying now? And then even the pictures and everything, it has the, it has the connection to the content, but it is you present it in a different way that it makes you think about it, and then, it is, so it gives you,
So we want an aha moment,
100%. Yes, thank you everyone for coming here. So I just wanted to, could you please elaborate that eating disorder and disorder eating. Is that what you said earlier? Yes. Would you be able to elaborate on that, please?
So, look, most women I have met, and some men, but predominantly I see women. So most women, they exhibit some type of disordered eating. And I think disordered eating comes more from a societal perspective of where women are fed beliefs about how they must watch their food intake in order to be attractive or healthy. That's entirely different to eating disorders. Eating disorders come about mainly from a lack of control. Like I had anorexia nervosa when I was 12, and that 5 years of bulimia nervosa. That is not about how you look. Anorexia and bulimia, all those eating disorders are not about how you look. They're about a place of where we lack control. And the only control is by looking at what we eat and either restricting it or placing some sort of importance on it. That's about trying to get control in an uncontrolled environment. It could be childhood abuse, neglect, violence, women in Nepal, we talked about that. It can be all about those women who no longer have a voice in their daily life. And they use food or the restriction of food as a tool to have some control in an uncontrolled environment.
Yes.
Disordered eating is all about how we look. Disordered eating looks like fasting is disordered eating, binge eating, skipping meals, avoiding foods, vomiting, laxatives, using diet pills, using protein supplements. That's actually disordered eating, and that's a society problem. Eating disorders is still a society problem, but it's so much deeper than just looking right or choosing foods.
It is so interesting that when you switch the words around and when you explain it, it's so, it's profound meaning around it. So thank you for explaining that, and we will have to go back and listen to that again. That information. Yes. So what experience do you have working with the clients with eating disorders or disorder or eating disorder? I'm trying to, yes. And what approaches, what approaches do you find most effective?
So they're entirely different. So with eating disorders, as I said, it's about control in a controlled environment. So that would probably be where we did more counseling. So that's counseling. But with disordered eating, it would be more, I actually use my nutrition degree to educate. Just for examples, I have so many women who might come with anemia.
Yes.
And I'll ask them about their food. And like humans tend to have this unique ability. If we think it's healthy, by a cupful, we'll have a wheelbarrow load.
Yes. Yes.
The same until I did my nutrition degree. I mean, like that's how food's different for me. But, people are all into baby spinach, for instance. Yes. Well, it doesn't help with iron. That is a fact. It's full of oxalates. It strips the iron out of your body. It strips the calcium out of your body.
Wow.
So that is disordered eating. We Google on our computer, and Google tells us spinach is full of iron.
Iron, yes.
Somebody made up a little bit of BS over there because it's actually not. But then when you do a nutrition degree, it's full of something called oxalates, which can cause kidney stones, and it strips out all your minerals. If I was looking for a vegan girl, a menstruating vegan woman, I'd take her off that baby spinach immediately. So that's how I would look at disordered eating. I have women who do intermittent fasting, and it's been very bad for women. It's great for men. Women have different hormonal needs. So that's all about education when it's disordered eating. But when it's an disorder, then and we have to look at counseling techniques. How can we empower that woman so she has more control?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I had anorexia, I was 12. I had some crazy women in my family. They weren't crazy, but they weren't very useful and they weren't very strong.
Yes.
And then my grandfather died, so that strength left. And I developed anorexia. I was heading into high school. My strength died, and I had a couple of neurotic women in the court. And so I became anorexic. I was gaining some sort of control in a very uncontrolled environment. Nutrition, I read all about nutrition. It made it worse. So eating disorders, when we focus on the food as the point of control, it makes it worse.
Yes.
Whereas disordered eating, if we focus on the food and on the knowledge, it makes it better.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I really have to go back and listen to all this, because it's like just incredible information you're dropping there. And no, because it is so, because we all hear the same thing in and out. And when someone comes and when they, put their life experience, and then giving the example and making it easier to understand what is the two disorder eating and eating disorder is. And because lots of times it's like, oh, two words just jumbled in, it's, you don't really understand that.
100%. And eating disorders is a mental health condition. But disordered eating is not.
Yeah, it's the more the societal thing, right?
I think soon it will become that, because there's a lot of it. Like clients will come to me and they talk about superfoods. I think that's disordered eating too. Like
Yes.
food is good.
Yeah.
Let's not make superfood that we have more of, or things we restrict. Like I think we've lost that intuitive eating.
Yes, I think when I first saw, how here the turmeric shots so popular.
Yeah.
And back home we have turmeric in every dish, but we do not drink like that.
No.
When I first tried it, and I was like, when I first tried turmeric latte, I was like, wowzers, how do you drink this latte like this?
Yeah.
Because when we put turmeric, it's just a slight color, because it gives that bitter color, a bitter taste. So we don't want to have that bitter taste, but just slightly put the flavor in, but at the same time it gives the color, right? So, but when I came here, I was like, wow, this is something, yeah. So I had to get my head around that this is not right, or it doesn't feel right for me, to have turmeric shots like that. But maybe for some people it feels good, but I don't know.
Well, we don't need them. So what you were referring to is, in your culture, turmeric is used to enhance the food.
Yes.
But all of a sudden, we've done that, a little handful to a wheelbarrow. Now we have to have a turmeric shot. The other thing that, there's a couple of things that really, this is more about disordered eating, and also it's about poor information. Charcoal infused foods. Do you know, in hospital we use charcoal to bind the toxin that someone tried to kill themselves with, so that it gets the system and they still live. So if charcoal binds toxins, charcoal in food binds every single mineral you have in the rest of your food, so that you cannot have it.
Okay.
But people who are having charcoal, we have people who are having kale, we have people who are having baby spinach and protein and fasting and the turmeric shots. And that is disordered eating, but it's from misinformation.
So that is,
in your culture, intuitively you put some turmeric in.
Yes, because that is, we just eat to, I didn't even know there's like a health factor in. We just ate like that. It's the staple in food diet. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as we call it health food or a superfood, we've got a disordered eating pattern, because that's not correct. There are no such things. Food itself is nutrition. Clearly, processed food is not food. So we can't even call it food.
Yes.
But if you went out and killed a lamb and had some vegetables with it, that's food.
Yeah.
You know, but all this packaged stuff, that's not food. So we can't even refer to it as food.
Mm. So is that what you know when you, so I wanted to dive into another question of the how, you know, so when you make a plan towards the, you know, what I was going to ask, how do you, yeah, so to support the clients to develop healthier relationship with food and the bodies, how do you support them?
Well, it's all, in what I do, it's all client centered.
Yes.
So it's what I think is right, it's what sits well with them. So I would, if it's disordered eating, I would look at educating them, you know, like, as I said, you know, if you're eating raw kale and you have a thyroid condition, you're just making yourself sick. So I will educate people as to what other comorbidities or conditions they come with. I'll take that into account, and then I'll say, well, you know, what you're eating here is probably making it worse. What we could do is use these foods to enhance your But to be honest, what I would look at is, I often refer to ancestral man, and I will say a couple of things, and they're a bit bizarre. If you were imagine an ancestral man running around the woods or the forest, do you think he killed his animal and he brought it back to the cave and he said, oh, I won't eat all of that today? Then he intuitively just ate it. We overthink these things. The other thing is, there's a lot of people having a lot of fermented food, and I'm often saying, do you think ancestral man had a refrigerator in his cave? No, he didn't. If we store food, it's dangerous. A lot of fermented foods are dangerous. That's why I'm seeing so many skin conditions. So we've got to think, unlearn everything we've learned. That's what I often say. Let's take it back a notch. Let's unlearn everything you know. And then I will say to them, Google is a source of bullshit. It really is. There is not much real information on Google. And then I'll say, if you want real information, you need to go Google Scholar or PubMed, because Google has no real information on it. You can feed.
So PubMed, you said?
Yeah, if you can feed out to some research in PubMed from a Google article, by all means do it. Google is an opinion piece. And if I had that much pull as Google, I'd be doing wow. So, yeah, like you can look at baby spinach on Google is full of iron. Okay, now let's go to PubMed and look up the word oxalates, spinach, and iron absorption. And you will see that the oxalates in the baby spinach stops iron being absorbed. So there's a completely different narrative to the one.
Yes.
So we have to unlearn everything we thought we knew. And it's very difficult, because now we've got this beautiful internet where we can find out information, but is it the right information?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very confusing, isn't it?
Oh, it's horribly confusing, and I feel that's why a lot of people are sick. Only the other day, a fellow came in with a whole heap of hives, always hives, and he said to me, I'm coming to you first, but then I'm going to do a 5-day fermented food detox. And I said to him, good luck with that, because fermented food is what's causing your hives. We think fermented food's good, so instead of having a little bit once a week, we have it every day.
Yes.
We'll have skin rashes, eczema, hives, and we wonder why, or hay fever.
Yes. So back home we have we make a chutney, right? It's stored like that, but we have like tiny bit with our food, just to for the flavor, you know, for the, but yes, in here, I just stay still trying to understand the eating pattern. Like you said, it's so much information out there and it's very confusing, and trying to unlearn that and then, you know, take the information from the correct source as well. Thank you for sharing that PubMed you said. And
Yeah, you need research.
yeah. Yes, thank you. And yes, and that is, yeah, that is such an important point. Thank you. And so going towards, as you know, support the clients and afterwards to manage it, do you stay in contact with them throughout their journey?
Yes,
Or
currently I'm booked about a month out, but so what I usually do is I have an initial consultation and I spend 90 minutes with a client. If you spend less than that, you can't understand everything about the client. Called the biopsychosocial model. So we need to understand the biology, the psychology, and the social environment that the person lives in to be able to help them and empower them to make the necessary changes. There is there's no point me asking them to implement, I don't know, a 3-course breakfast if they're running out the door at 4 a.m. It's about fitting in the treatment model that we think work between us into their lifestyle. If we make it too difficult, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a perfect world. There's a perfect world where we sit down, we might have bacon and eggs for breakfast. But even a client last night, I said to her, could you just manage a protein bar to begin with? We've got to meet the client where they're at. A protein bar is rubbish, but she was having no protein. She was having more rubbish food, as in she was having cornflakes or Weet Bix, I think it was. And I'm like, well, that's total rubbish. I'd rather a protein bar. Yeah. And then we'll step from that protein bar to let's do a little omelette in the morning. But we've got to step through what are manageable changes for each client.
Yes, as everyone's life is so busy these days, right? So
yeah, absolutely. And there's a psychological aspect to eating disorders too.
Yes, because you're always thinking you don't have enough time to create this beautiful food. And when 100%.
Yeah.
Yes. And
so I think most of our problems these days comes from a lack of time and increased fatigue. So high stress and high fatigue. And I can't envisage anyone spending the time when they're stressed, running out the door on the back of really low energy, creating a breakfast that's nutritious.
No,
So,
I don't think so.
Some people have problems with texture. I had a lady yesterday, she goes, I can't do lumpy cheese, as in cottage cheese or feta. And I'm like, oh. So then we went ricotta. Yeah. It's about making the treatment plan comfortable for the client.
Yes, and that will be sustainable in it. Yes. Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to dive in is that, so how do you collaborate with the other healthcare professionals, such as therapists or medical doctors, to ensure a comprehensive care? But as you already do so many of it, I don't, it's like one stop for people. But do you collaborate with the other practitioners, or how do you do it?
I would like to collaborate with doctors. No offense to doctors. There is a minority who would be willing to collaborate back. I can have people come after cancer treatment and their doctor might tell them that nutrition and food has no bearing on whether their cancer returns or not. And I don't actually align with that theory. I think that if you're putting good nutrition in your body, that's the fuel to make your cells work, your DNA to replicate appropriately. Food can be mental health medicine. So it's very hard to collaborate with a doctor who doesn't believe nutrition or food has any bearing on health.
Mm-hmm.
I do collaborate with a lot of psychologists. I do, yeah. I collaborate with a lot of psychologists, and I would say that's due to them seeing people with health anxiety or children with ADHD. I do be sent a lot of children from psychologists,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where medicine. Like you,
Fantastic.
both, you send your child out with a very poor breakfast. How will their brain function? And the school will do breakfast for the kids that don't have breakfast. They
No. So yeah, my kids' school, they don't provide any food, so I do it. So at least yeah, I know they just want a toast, and it just like, oh, okay, but yeah, they're having toast or whatever they're having, but you're preparing it, so it's a bit of a relief. But yes, but I have to work on that.
You'll find teenagers. There's a whole new ball game. Hey, teenage girls, particularly because that's who I mainly see. They're running out the door. They don't want to eat breakfast,
No.
and then we have to wonder about. I'm sorry, but I'm not a fan of TikTok. We have to wonder about the impression TikTok or Instagram is having on these girls. I have clients who come here telling me what they need to do because TikTok told them. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, bugger that. I did.
Not for me.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is I think social media has such an impact on a lot of people who are searching, and particularly teenagers who then forego breakfast.
It's a bit sad, but we can use the social media for this, right? To bring the information.
We just forgot.
Yes. So while we, now I think we're coming to, that time that when we do the Q&A session with you. And if anyone has any question, please comment down below. And we would love to, while we wait, Leonie, please let us know where people can find you.
Oh, okay. So I do on-site and I do telehealth consultations. I'm based in Oxenford. Everybody knows Bunnings at Oxenford. I'm across the road from them, in with Reese Plumbing and Ideal Electrical. And I have a little upstairs. I have a really nice space. I love coming to my space. I've got 4 rooms. I have a workshop room, a bodywork room, my consulting room, and a reception area. And it's just on Old Pacific Highway, opposite Bunnings, and in with Ideal Electrical and Reese Plumbing.
Yeah, awesome. So you gave us the perfect location that I'm thinking of all the inner visualizing your spot.
If you stand in the garden section of Bunnings and look across the road, that's where I am.
Okay, next time I will do that.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, awesome, Leonie. Thank you so much for all the information and your knowledge of all this, that you have collected for a long time. And we are really honored to have you here and for your time. We truly appreciate it. And if anyone would like to connect with Leonie, please, where can people contact you?
Okay, so the website is harvestinghealth.com.au. It's all one word. Or you can text me because I work back to back. I work from up until 9 p.m. at night. So, but if you text me on 0422.
Okay. 0422, yes.
22 again.
Yeah.
0464.
0464. Okay, I'll put this number in the content.
Excellent.
Okay, I'll put your website and a website, your number, and so people can contact you. So yes, thank you so much everyone for being here today. Thank you, Leonie, for your precious time, and we will see you next time. Hey, and maybe I'll see you at the event if possible.
Oh, yes. Okay. When is that event?
It's on the 8th of September.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good. I'll write
So,
it down.
yes. And 8th of September. Okay, we'll see you there.
Okay. See
All
ya.
right. See you, Leonie. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.